Hi, I'm Raquel. Welcome back to Recovery to Wellness. This is where survivors radiate badassery. It is currently September 25th, 2024, and I am filming a very, dilapidated, not fully thought out book review kind of thing because the library closes in half an hour and I am determined to bring this book back, let it free from my clutches in a sense, and also just be free back into the library itself. So I am planning to do that right now, and so I'm going to film this as the video book review. I think I can actually check on the number, what number we're on, because we're out of order in, I haven't fully, done the book reviews or the recovery reads reports, and also filmed the video book reviews and, have those edited and published. So the order of all three of those things is not in the order that it's really kind of coming out at, being presented as. I think, for instance, I have, one video book review that's, number 9, and then a video book review, 12, and, things like that. So it's in order of which book I read when. So if that helps. So this is going to be video book review number 11. So, and then the other ones that just haven't come out, 7 or, 8 and things like that, those are books I have already read, but I haven't created the reviews for, or haven't really done the review process for. So it's a little bit backlogged, essentially. So we are working, so for instance, right now, this is for within my book club journal notebook, and we got this guy. So let me show you what I read. That would be helpful. So, video book review, it is Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice. So, Winter Solstice. It is 2023 by Nina McLaughlin. And it is, I have my leftover page flags in here, but I'm going to be taking these out. These guys, these were the page flags for this book. How well you can see that. All those. And this is 82 pages long. It's a collection of essays. It is the Winter Solstice. So there's actually, apparently, in 2020, she released a Summer Solstice book. And I know for me, when I read this book, I took it out from the library back in August of 2024. And I read it predominantly over the summer in a sense, or maybe even July, actually. Yeah, I actually took it out back in July, apparently. So I took it out from I read it 7/27. I read it in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days it took me to read it, not all at once. It was kind of the end of July, the beginning of August, a little bit at the end of August, and then the beginning of September, and then that's when I finished it. So at 7 days, I read it for that long. It looks like on September 2nd that I read it for over an hour. Actually, no, I lied, because on the 4th of September, I read it for about 2 hours. So that was 2 hours, and then an hour, and then the least amount of time that I read it for was about 5 minutes. So that was between July and September. I would say she has a Summer Solstice book that got released in 2020 that I haven't read. I've never heard of her before. I had no context for her writing or anything like that effect, and knowing her about the author and everything as well. I would say it is a Winter Solstice book, so I definitely think I liked the fact that I did read it in summer, because it definitely got me kind of gearing up and looking forward to winter, and it was really, really beautiful. I have the recommendation score for this is a 3 out of 5. There were some mental health kind of stigmatizing stuff, I felt at least, throughout the book a little bit, so that kind of sucked. But if it hadn't had that, I probably would have ranked it higher, but it did have that, so and that will go into in the written reviews, and maybe if I add another part to this video book review in the future, if I do, I'll talk about it there maybe. So I read it in summer, so I really liked looking forward to the benefits of winter and the different kinds of things with winter, which also I find too, like coming into ending summer into autumn and such, like noticing when the sun is leaving sooner in the evening in a sense is interesting, and it definitely makes me feel like, ooh, I'm like getting ready for autumn, getting ready for winter. I'm very excited for like Halloween and like Christmas and stuff. Like I'm excited. So it was a really great book in that sense. Her writing was really incredible. I found in some aspects it was actually so fancy that I couldn't fully understand what she was saying. So that was the only drawback. It's not very universal in a sense. It's very kind of like elaborate and extensive. It's very richly detailed though. It's very detailed, very enriching. But at some parts it's like kind of like a stream of consciousness too. It's about like maybe 5 essays within the collection. And the stream of consciousness thing can kind of lose me a few times, kind of thing. Like just big sentences, lots of, large paragraphs, things like that. So that was the only drawback. I did like the font that she used. There would be, the title of the essay would come before the, so there were 5 essays. But then there was also like an addendum too. So I guess there were like 6, collection of like 6 essays really. So for instance, like this is the title of the first essay, and it has blank pages, and then it goes into the essay itself, kind of thing. So I liked the text in it. She did a lot of great references to other artworks and written works and things to that effect. Very, very, very interesting. She does have a works cited page at the end of the book, which is great. There's a movie that she mentioned that I do want to watch from like the French monastery, I think it is, and it's like a in silence kind of movie. Into Great Silence 2005 is what it's called. And then there were I felt when I first read the book, I felt that the actual ending of the book was lackluster, and I was like, I wanted more out of it. Like she had maybe like 10 lines before that I thought was really, really good. Like if it would have ended there, I would have been really happy. But then she kind of continued on. But then when I was reviewing it, I felt like it wasn't as bad in a sense. Like it's a decent end. I think there's also a lot of references to like mythology and stuff, which is interesting, although I don't have very much context for that either. So that was also a factor. If I would have known more going into this book about mythology and references to that kind of thing, I think that would have been more delightful and more interesting and more like understandable reading it in a sense. The writing itself, 4 out of 5 stars for sure. Again, the overall is only about 3. I wrote this review on 2 pages of blank paper. So this is the whole review that I'm typing up the stuff for later in the future when I do it. And I worked on this primarily yesterday, actually. And it actually wasn't so bad. Unlike one of the other last book reviews I did, where one of the last books I had read, which was the collection of poetry, getting through the collection of poetry, like, I was kind of just like, fuck it. Like, the sooner I get through it, the sooner I get it reviewed, the sooner I get it done, and then the sooner it's out of my clutches, kind of thing. This book, I didn't have that much of that same perspective with. I really kind of was like, I don't want to read this book. This book is too complicated. It's too, like, intense. And so I would just, put it off on the side, and then I wouldn't read it for weeks at a time, kind of thing. So I didn't have the same perspective of that. It was really tough to get through. I also, it took me until, 3 weeks later from when it was due for me to actually write the review for it and really spend the time and, force myself to really do it. So that's also a factor, I suppose. It was just, a book that I triggered my sort of avoidance in a sense, and I was just like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to do it. And then I kept putting it off until I finally did it. And then once I finally did it, again, it was only 2 pages back to back, so 4 pages in total, but it didn't fit the way I thought about it in my head and how complicated it was going to be. It didn't turn out to be all that complicated, and it was pretty easy to get through, so that's great. So let me see. One of the quotes that I'm mentioning is this quote here. They helixed little lights round and round the oak tree, the holly bush, the evergreen. So it looked as though the constellations themselves had been blown by wind and caught in the net of branches. So that was like one of like the first lines coming into this book. And that was page 11, McLaughlin, 2023. I just thought that was beautifully written. Like her writing is just really, really great. Let me see. So I would say, well, like the trigger warnings and stuff, like I definitely like there is a mention of animal sacrifice, self-harm specifics of cutting. There's like substance use a little bit, like just like alcohol and stuff. And there's also just kind of like some general stigmatization of like mental hospitals and like maniacs, like just like things like that, like lunatics and all of that. So not very great in that sense, not very recovery or person-centered focus in a sense, but if you can look past that, then, you know, it's a good book. And lots of mythology references. Oh yeah, for a place called New Grange, built in 3200 BC, they knew the angles of earth and sun, of light and hope 5,000 years ago. From McLaughlin, 2023, page 26. I thought that was interesting because of that, about this like stone chamber kind of thing and how she went to it, and there's like a section of like a hole in the wall or something, and the light comes through on the longest day, something to that effect. It was beautifully written, very, very great. Just kind of seeing the light kind of come through, and how, you know, ancient people from 1,000 years ago and how they knew that, and just some interesting kind of stuff. Very touching on humanity and like common humanity, and, you know, sort of that togetherness in a sense, and that was great. Although I like this one too. We lose 6 hours and 12 minutes of daylight for like the winter solstice. Said otherwise, we gain those hours in darkness. I liked that little refrain. That was really, really great. That was on page 27. Oh, not that one. I liked this a lot too. I found this vastly powerful, what I'm about to read to you now, and I wasn't sure what to omit, so I just have a giant, like, this whole section. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's a coyote. Like, straight up. There's just a coyote here. Yep, there he is. There he goes. Holy shit, I've never seen this before. It's just a coyote. You know, la la la, la la la. Holy crap. Holy crap. Where'd he go? I don't know where he went. Holy shit. Whoa. Alright. Okay, hold on, let me flip you back. I don't know how much of that I'll be able to include, but that was like, sorry, hold on. Holy shit. Holy shit. Hold on, I'm trying to get you back. You know, just a coyote, you know, doing his thing. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, sorry. That was, I don't know how much I'll be able to include of that, but holy shit. That's like, like, I don't even, like, what? Like, I can't even, I don't even, oh my god, I have never, it's been years since I saw a coyote around here. I've never seen a coyote here at the library, that's for sure, but, like, it's been so many years since I last saw, like, a coyote, like, in the wild and stuff. That is wild. So I don't know how much of that I'll be able to include. I'll include as much as I can. That'll be interesting to edit. Anywho, back to Winter Solstice. So there's just this giant paragraph that I included because I didn't know what to take out and what to not. So I'll just read this to you now. Let's see, I still got a few minutes. So this is about dropping a bucket down a well. The place below is fearsome, not just for monsters, but because below it is nothing. The icy roar of the void, the ancient dark, when it is your soul against the ice stone. There is nothing there, and it ignites our molten human drive for something. Something there cannot be nothing. It's unbearable. I see this dude going into the woods, and there was just a coyote over there, so he probably doesn't want to do that. Make a noise, a song, love, a joke, a baby, a fire, a friend. What we do, the best of us, our love, our faith, our music, our passion, our stories, all our stories, trying to make sense of the chaos, trying to make sense of the fear, come rushing from the deepest place in this well with no bottom to it. McLaughlin, 2023, page 43. So again, just so powerful. The childhood one included in the reviews. I liked this one too. It is not the words that speak the presence. The most precious thing we have is our attention to one another. But the glow behind the eyes, the pulse from the heart, communicated between us across a table, beside you as we walk together on the sidewalk toward the square. I'm here, you're here, we will not always be. That was McLaughlin, 2023, page 68. It's a little uncomfortable, so there's definitely touchings on mortality and sort of humanity and life, in a sense, within this collection of essays. Very, very interesting, though. I thought that was just really beautiful, profound, and very deep. And also has a cardiophile moment in it as well. So, and I would also like to write some fan fiction around that sort of stuff as well. Which is also some of the Nordic mythology kind of stuff made me really think about making some fan fiction as well. So, and that's pretty much it for this review. Again, I'll have some links to the once I actually post and edit and do type and post and read and edit and all of that stuff. Once I have that going on my WordPress blog, I will let you know. I filmed another video review that I have to still edit and such, but I'm thinking that I'm going to work on some, sorry, I can't think. I can't believe I saw a coyote. That was fucking wild. But I'm going to work on some stuff. Oh, I'm gonna edit some other videos and delete some other footage and such. And then once I do that, then I'll put the new footage onto my laptop, work on that, and then go from there. So that will come not soon, but it will come at some point. So anywho, let me know what you thought of this book. What does it sound like to you? Are you interested in reading it? Do you think you would read it? And what book are you currently reading? What are you enjoying? What are you disliking from your current book if you're reading anything? Or if you're not, do you need ideas for things to read? We can always sort of recommend other books and such too in the comment section of this video. As always, stay safe. Much love and light to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please comment, share. Really, let's have a conversation and have a discussion, and we'll kind of go from there. And I should be having other videos out at the time that I'm filming this, yes, but also in the future whenever I put this video out, I will have other videos coming, and it'll be exciting. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I will see you again very soon. Bye!
Guiding like a lighthouse to I will leave the light on.